I'm speaking louder than normal because I have to make sure the witness can hear me, and I'm going to go ahead and swear him in. Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Please state your full name and spell your last name for the record.
My name is Thomas Emmanuel Hixon, Hixon.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hixon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Hixon, you're appearing by Zoom, is that correct?
Yes.
And can you see me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hixon, are you the son of Christopher Hixon?
I am.
And did you prepare a statement to be read in front of the jury for these proceedings?
I did.
Will you please share it with us now?
Yes.
Thank you.
Chris Hixon, to me, was first and foremost my father. But he was also a husband, a brother, an uncle, a godfather, a nephew, a cousin, a coach, a mentor, and a friend to many. While my dad held many titles throughout his life, a title that he will never get to hold now is grandfather. As my wife and I begin to start our family, my children will have to grow up without ever meeting their grandpa. Instead, they will be relegated to only knowing him through pictures and stories. This fact is something that has weighed heavily on my wife and I over the last 4 years. The loss of my dad has weighed heavily on me, and it's something that I have not fully recovered from and likely never will. Growing up seeing my dad serve our country and his community is what inspired me to follow in his footsteps of service. When I commissioned as an officer in the United States Marine Corps, my dad was my first salute. The first salute is a military tradition where a new officer chooses an enlisted member who has mentored them, inspired them, and motivated them throughout their journey to becoming an officer. For me, it was a no-brainer that my dad was that person. The last time he wore his uniform alive was at my commissioning in 2014. It was the same uniform that he was buried in 4 years later. The burden and honor of prepping his uniform for his funeral fell to me, taking hours to get it ready as it was never good enough for me. The creases not sharp enough, the awards not placed perfectly enough, the neckerchief knot never square enough, and the shoes not shined enough. A part of me knew that this was my way of saying goodbye, and I wasn't ready to do that. Military service was a bond we shared as father and son, and I was a better Marine and leader because of everything he taught me growing up. He served his country in uniform for 27 years as a member of the United States Navy, and he served just as long as an employee of Broward County Public Schools. As an athletic director and security monitor for 3 Broward County Public Schools over his career, my dad was able to teach, mentor, and inspire thousands of kids over his 26 years. He was known for being strict but fair in both of these capacities, yet he was also caring and took care of students who needed his help. While his caring was proven time and time again, they were particularly evident when he agreed to take in not 1, but 2 students who would have likely had to drop out of high school had he and my mother not taken them in during their time of need. His love of sports and the character it can teach kids and young adults was what he loved most about his job as an athletic director. But he also knew that academic success was just as important for these student athletes and strived to ensure that they knew that as well. His caring attitude also extended into his security monitor position, where he always strived to be the first person on the scene so he could help students no matter what was going on. Despite being in a position of authority as an adult working in a school, he strived to earn the respect of students instead of demanding it, a key aspect of any great leader and mentor. He did this by showing up to every sporting event he could and coaching sports that students couldn't find a coach for. Even though this meant many nights of reheated dinners in the microwave when he finally got home, to him it was worth it to be of service to his student athletes. My dad was an extraordinary man who lived an ordinary life, and he made a difference in the lives of countless numbers of students, friends, and family. He had given so much to his family, his country, his community, and his students, yet he still had so much more to give. His death has had and will continue to have a ripple effect on our family, our friends, and our community. Even though he should still be here with us making memories, he will always be remembered for his courage, his bravery, his leadership, his humility, and his humor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hixon.
Thank you, sir.